Dear starseeds on Gaia, your spiritual journey is killing you, and I mean that literally. You're so busy trying to ascend, trying to heal, trying to manifest your dreams that you've become addicted to the very suffering you're trying to escape. The constant doing, the endless shadow work, the relentless self-improvement. It's not enlightenment, it's spiritual bypassing dressed up as evolution. And the universe, it's about to force you to stop in a way that will either break you open or break you down completely. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. And what happened to you this past week wasn't random. That bone-deep exhaustion, those racing thoughts that won't let you sleep, that feeling like you're living between two worlds where nothing feels real anymore. These aren't symptoms of ascension. They're warning signs that you're about to miss the very thing you've been working so hard to manifest. Because here's what no one tells you about wishes coming true. They can't land in a nervous system that's constantly in fight or flight mode. Right now, on this very day, August 24th, as Venus enters Leo and creates configurations that haven't existed for years, the universe is orchestrating something massive for you. But there's a catch, and it's going to challenge everything you believe about deserving good things. You see, that wish you've been carrying, that vision of success and abundance you see when you close your eyes, it's already been granted in the quantum field. The cosmic wheels are turning, but it's being held back by one thing, and that thing isn't what you think it is. You think you need to do more, be more, heal more, prove more. You wake up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing about all the things you haven't accomplished yet. You look at other light workers who seem to have it all figured out, and wonder what's wrong with you. Why can't you just get it together? Why does peace feel so uncomfortable? Why does rest feel like failure? I'm about to tell you something that will change how you see everything. But first you need to understand what's really happening in your body right now. That discomfort you feel when you try to rest, that's not laziness or resistance to your highest good. That's your inner child screaming in terror because the last time they tried to rest, something bad happened. Maybe love was withdrawn. Maybe you became invisible. Maybe the chaos in your house got worse when you weren't managing everyone's emotions. You learned early that your worth was tied to your usefulness, that love had to be earned through constant performance. And now, even though you've done so much healing work, that program is still running in the background like a virus in your operating system. This past week, you've been getting signs, not the pretty, Instagram-worthy signs that spiritual influencers talk about. I'm talking about the harsh signs, the interrupted sleep where you wake up every 2 hours, the dreams that feel more real than your waking life, the sense that you're standing on the edge of something huge but you can't quite see what it is. You've been closing doors on massive cycles, relationships, patterns, ways of being that have defined you for years. And now you're in this strange limbo where the old life is gone but the new one hasn't arrived yet. The universe orchestrated this perfectly. You had to close those cycles first. You had to walk away from those toxic patterns, those relationships that drained you, those habits that kept you small. That was phase 1 of your metamorphosis. But here's what's happening now that no one prepared you for. Phase 2 isn't about doing more. It's about undoing. It's about unlearning the very survival mechanisms that got you this far. Because the tools that helped you survive your childhood, that helped you navigate trauma, that kept you safe in unsafe environments, those same tools are now blocking your blessings. I need you to understand the cosmic mechanics of what's occurring. When Venus moves into Leo while creating these aspects with Saturn and Neptune, and Uranus begins its dance with Neptune, we enter what the Federation calls a manifestation acceleration portal. But here's the secret. These portals don't respond to effort. They respond to alignment. And alignment doesn't come from doing. It comes from being. It comes from a nervous system that knows how to receive. But you only know how to give, to push, to strive, to earn. You're trying to catch a waterfall with clenched fists. Let me tell you what your guides have been desperately trying to communicate through those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. Each time you jolt awake at 3 a.m., it's not anxiety, it's a download trying to install. But it can't complete installation because your system is too revved up, too defended, too busy running its old programs. Your multi-dimensional self is trying to merge with your human self, bringing in the codes and blueprints for your next level. But merger requires stillness. It requires a moment of complete surrender. And surrender for someone with your history feels like death. You're not alone in this. This entire collective of starseeds is going through the same initiation right now. You're all children who grew up too fast, who had to be the responsible ones, the peacekeepers, the ones who held it all together. You learned that rest was selfish, that taking care of yourself meant someone else would suffer, that your needs came last. And now the universe is asking you to reverse 20, 30, 40 years of programming in order to receive what you've been calling in. No wonder it feels impossible. No wonder every cell in your body is screaming in resistance. But here's the plot twist that changes everything. Your resistance is the initiation. The discomfort you feel isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature. Every moment you choose to rest despite the discomfort, you're literally rewiring your nervous system. Every time you resist the urge to fill empty space with busy work, you're breaking ancestral patterns that go back generations. Your entire lineage is watching you right now, holding their breath, because you're the one who chose to incarnate specifically to break this pattern. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing backwards and forwards through time. The wish that's coming to you, and yes, I see it clearly, that vision of yourself thriving, abundant, creating your empire while serving the collective, it's not a personal wish. It's a collective assignment disguised as a personal dream. The universe doesn't grant wishes for individual gain in these accelerated times. Every manifestation comes with a purpose, a mission, a way it serves the whole. Your success is meant to be a template, a living proof that it's possible to thrive without sacrificing yourself on the altar of productivity. But you can't be that template if you achieve it through the old paradigm of exhaustion and burnout. This is why the universe is being so relentless with this lesson right now. It's not trying to punish you or delay your dreams. It's trying to ensure that when your manifestation arrives, and it's closer than you think, you'll be able to hold it without destroying yourself. Think about it. What good is building an empire if you're too burnt out to enjoy it? What good is success if it costs you your health, your joy, your ability to be present? The universe is trying to save you from the very thing you think you want. Success achieved through suffering, so it can give you something better. Success achieved through alignment. I know what you're thinking right now, but Seraphine, I've already wasted so much time. I'm already so far behind where I thought I'd be. How can I rest when there's so much to do? This thought, this exact thought, is the smoking gun. It's the evidence of how deeply the programming runs. Because who told you you're behind? Behind what? Some imaginary timeline created by a society that profits from your insecurity. You're not behind. You're in perfect divine timing. Every single thing that's happened in your life has been preparing you for what's about to unfold. The truth is, you've been preparing for this moment your entire life. Every challenge you faced, every wound you healed, every pattern you recognized and released, it's all been leading to this. You're like a computer that's been downloading updates in the background for years, and now it's time for the final installation. But the installation requires a restart. It requires you to power down, to stop all programs, to enter safe mode. That's what this cosmic pause is. It's your system preparing for a massive upgrade, but you keep interrupting the installation by trying to run your old programs. Here's what the Federation wants you to know about the timeline we're in. We've entered what's called a quantum manifestation window. In these windows, the gap between thought and manifestation collapses. What used to take years can happen in weeks, but, and this is crucial, only for those whose nervous systems can handle the acceleration. This is why so many lightworkers are being forced into rest right now. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Your nervous system is being recalibrated to handle rapid manifestation without short-circuiting, because what's coming is bigger than what your current wiring can handle. The signs are everywhere if you know how to read them. That project that suddenly stalled? That's the universe saying, not yet, you're not ready to receive this. That opportunity that fell through? That's cosmic protection, keeping you from burning yourself out on something that wasn't aligned with your highest timeline. That bone-deep exhaustion that won't go away no matter how much you sleep? That's your body forcing you to slow down so your energy field can expand to hold what's coming. Every symptom, every delay, every frustration is actually the universe's way of protecting you from receiving too much too fast. But here's where it gets really interesting. The wish that's coming isn't just about material success or external achievement. It's about a fundamental shift in how you exist in the world. You're about to discover what it feels like to create from overflow instead of deficit, to give from abundance instead of depletion, to succeed from joy instead of struggle. This is a completely different operating system than the one you were raised with. It requires different inputs, different processing, different outputs, and the transition between operating systems. That's where you are right now. That's why everything feels so uncomfortable and uncertain. Your guides have been working overtime trying to prepare you for this shift. Those vivid dreams you've been having, those are preview screens of your new reality. The synchronicities that keep appearing, those are breadcrumbs leading you toward your new timeline. The people who've suddenly left your life, they were clearing space for the new connections that are about to arrive. Everything that feels like loss or delay is actually preparation and protection. But your human mind, trained in the old paradigm, can only see what's leaving, not what's coming. That's about to change. The specific astrological configuration happening today is creating what we call a reality bridge. Venus in Leo is activating your heart's true desires while creating supportive aspects that make manifestation not just possible but inevitable. But here's the key. Leo energy demands authenticity. It won't support manifestations built on who you think you should be. It only supports the real you, the one who knows how to rest, play, create from joy, the one you've been hiding because you thought they weren't productive enough, serious enough, worthy enough. That's the you that your wishes are waiting for. Meanwhile, Uranus and Neptune are beginning a dance that won't complete until November, opening portals of possibility that your logical mind can't even comprehend. These aren't small wishes we're talking about. These are life-changing, timeline-shifting, reality-altering manifestations, the kind that doesn't just change your life, but ripple out to change the lives of everyone in your field. But portals this powerful require a clear channel. They require someone who isn't clogged with old programming, old fears, old patterns of unworthiness. They require someone who's done the work of clearing and is now brave enough to receive. This is why rest isn't just suggested right now. It's required, not the collapsed, exhausted rest of someone who's pushed past their limits, but conscious, chosen rest, sacred rest. The kind of rest where you're actively choosing to trust the universe instead of trying to control it. Every moment you rest, you're casting a vote for the new paradigm. You're telling the universe, I trust that I'm held. I trust that I'm worthy. I trust that my good is coming to me. And the universe always responds to trust with abundance beyond your wildest dreams. But let's talk about what's really stopping you from resting. It's not laziness or lack of discipline. It's terrifying. Pure primal terror from the part of you that learned early that stillness equals danger. Maybe when you were still, you became a target. Maybe when you rested, important things didn't get done, and chaos ensued. Maybe the only time you felt loved was when you were being useful. So now, even in safety, your body maintains hypervigilance. Even in peace, you're scanning for danger. Even in abundance, you're preparing for scarcity. This is the final layer of programming that needs to be healed before your wishes can manifest. The cosmic joke, and yes, the universe has quite the sense of humor, is that everything you've been chasing through all that doing is waiting for you in the beginning. Your manifestation isn't at the end of your to-do list. It's in the space between breaths. It's in the pause between thoughts. It's in the moment when you finally stop running long enough to realize you already have everything you need. You've been so busy chasing your worth that you haven't noticed you've been worthy all along. You've been so focused on earning love that you haven't felt the love that's been surrounding you since before you were born. This week, as these powerful astrological energies peak, you're being given a cosmic opportunity, not to do more, but to undo more. To unlearn the lie that your worth is tied to your productivity. To release the belief that rest is dangerous. To heal the wound that says love must be earned. This isn't spiritual bypassing or new age fluff. This is the deepest, most challenging work you can do, because it requires you to go against every survival instinct you've developed. It requires you to trust when trust has been broken. It requires you to rest when rest has been unsafe. Your ancestors are watching this moment with bated breath. Generations of people who never had the luxury of rest, who worked themselves into early graves, who passed down the trauma of never being enough. They're all watching you, and they're not judging you for resting. They're cheering. They're celebrating. They're saying, finally, one of us gets to break free. Finally, one of us gets to discover what we're worth without having to prove it. You're not betraying them by resting. You're honoring them by refusing to perpetuate the pattern. You're giving their struggles meaning by choosing a different path. The resistance you feel isn't just yours. It's ancestral. It's collective. It's the voice of every generation that came before you saying, "But what if it's not safe? What if you're punished for stopping? What if everything falls apart?" And your job, your sacred assignment, is to be the one who says, "What if it doesn't? What if everything actually comes together when I stop trying to force it? What if rest is the secret ingredient I've been missing?" Because that's exactly what's true. Rest is the missing piece. Not more action. Not more healing work. Not more productivity. Rest. But here's the advanced teaching that even most spiritual teachers don't understand. Rest in the fifth dimension isn't passive. It's deeply active on an energetic level. When you rest, you're not doing nothing. You're creating space for your higher self to work through you. You're allowing your multi-dimensional aspects to integrate. You're giving your guides room to orchestrate synchronicities. You're letting the universe conspire on your behalf, instead of trying to micromanage every detail. Rest is actually the most productive thing you can do right now, but productivity that your human mind can't track or measure. I can feel some of you resisting even as you read this. But Seraphine, you're thinking, "You don't understand my situation. I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities. I have people depending on me." And I say to you, yes, exactly. Which is precisely why you need to learn this lesson now before your manifestation arrives. Because when your wishes come true, and they're coming faster than you think, you'll have even more responsibilities. You'll have even more people depending on you. If you can't rest now in the in-between space, how will you rest when you're living your dreams? The universe is teaching you this lesson now as preparation, not punishment. The truth about manifestation that no one tells you is this: it's not about becoming worthy of your desires. You were born worthy. It's about becoming energetically capable of holding them without destroying yourself in the process. Every master manifestor knows this secret. They know that sustainable success comes from alignment, not effort. They know that true abundance flows to those who've healed their receiving wounds, not just their giving wounds. They know that the universe is desperately trying to give us everything we want. We just have to get out of our own way long enough to receive it. So what does this mean practically? It means that every time you choose rest over productivity this week, you're not falling behind. You're actually quantum leaping ahead. Every time you listen to your body's need for stillness instead of your mind's demands for action, you're rewiring centuries of programming. Every time you trust that you're held even when you're not actively holding everything together, you're stepping into a new timeline. These might seem like small acts, but in the quantum field, they're massive. They're literally reshaping your reality from the inside out. The Federation has a message specifically for those of you who are mothers, fathers, caregivers, those who've built their identity around taking care of others. Your rest is not selfish. Your rest is the greatest gift you can give those you love. Because when you rest, you model for them that it's safe to rest. When you prioritize your well-being, you teach them that they're allowed to prioritize theirs. When you break the pattern of endless sacrifice, you free them from having to perpetuate it. Your rest is a revolutionary act that ripples out through generations. Your children need to see you resting more than they need you doing one more thing for them. As we move toward the Pisces lunar eclipse on September 7th, the energies are building toward a massive cosmic reset. Everything you're experiencing right now is preparation for that moment. The eclipse will wash away the last vestiges of your old identity, the one who had to earn love, who couldn't rest, who measured worth in accomplishments. But eclipses only work with willing participants. You have to consciously choose to release what's being eclipsed. You have to be willing to let go of the identity that's kept you safe, but also kept you small. And that letting go, it happens in the rest. It happens in the space between. Your wish. That beautiful, ambitious, soul-aligned wish. It's not waiting for you to become perfect. It's waiting for you to become real. Real about your needs. Real about your limitations. Real about the fact that you're a human being, not a human doing. It's waiting for you to embody the frequency of someone who already has what they desire. And here's the secret. Someone who already has abundance doesn't hustle from scarcity. Someone who already has success doesn't push from fear. Someone who already has love doesn't perform for approval. They rest. They play. They create from joy. They trust. They receive. The cosmic configuration happening right now is specifically designed to support this shift. But you have to meet the universe halfway. You have to be willing to feel the discomfort of rest without immediately filling it with activity. You have to be willing to sit with the anxiety of not being productive without making it mean you're falling behind. You have to be willing to trust that the universe has your back even when you can't see how things will work out. This is PhD-level spiritual work. This is the final exam before graduation to your next level. And the test isn't about doing more. It's about being okay with doing less. I want to speak directly to the part of you that's terrified right now, the inner child who learned that their worth was conditional, that love had to be earned, that rest was dangerous. I see you. I honor your fear. Your hypervigilance kept you safe when safety was scarce. Your productivity got you love when love was conditional. Your inability to rest protected you from disappointment when promises were broken. These weren't character flaws. They were brilliant survival strategies. But now it's time to thank them for their service and let them retire. You don't need them anymore. You're safe now. You're loved now. You're worthy now. You always were. The universe has orchestrated this entire experience, every challenge, every delay, every moment of discomfort, to bring you to this exact realization. You are enough, exactly as you are, without doing another thing. Your wishes aren't waiting for you to prove yourself. They're waiting for you to know yourself. To know that you're worthy of rest, play, joy, ease. To know that you can receive without earning. To know that you can be loved without performing. This knowing doesn't come from doing more work. It comes from stopping long enough to feel the truth that's always been there, waiting patiently for you to notice it. As Venus dances through Leo, activating your heart's truest desires, remember this: Leo doesn't apologize for shining. Leo doesn't earn the right to be magnificent. Leo simply is, in all its radiant glory, without justification or explanation. This is your invitation to embody that same unapologetic beingness, to rest without guilt, to play without productivity, to exist without earning your existence, to shine without dimming yourself to make others comfortable. Your wishes are attracted to your light, not your hustle. They're magnetized by your joy, not your suffering. They're drawn to your authenticity, not your performance. The message from the Federation is crystal clear. The waiting period is almost over. The cosmic wheels that were set in motion when you first dared to dream are about to click into place. But the final piece of the puzzle isn't something you do. It's something you allow. You allow yourself to rest. You allow yourself to receive. You allow yourself to be held by forces greater than your individual will. You allow yourself to trust that you're worthy of everything you've been calling in. This is the master key that unlocks everything. But you can't fake it. You can't perform it. You have to actually feel it in your bones. So here's your cosmic assignment for this week. Should you choose to accept it, rest like your dreams depend on it. Because they do. Your wishes have already been granted in the quantum field. The version of you who has everything you desire already exists in a parallel timeline. The only thing separating you from that version is your willingness to rest into receivership, to trust that you don't have to chase what's already yours, to know that you don't have to earn what was freely given before you were born, to understand that the universe isn't waiting for you to become worthy, it's waiting for you to realize you always were. This realization doesn't come from doing, it comes from being. It comes from resting in the knowledge of who you really are. The exhaustion you've been feeling isn't because you're weak or falling behind. It's because you've been running on an operating system that was never meant to sustain you long term. You've been trying to create from deficit, give from depletion, succeed from suffering. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, is forcing you to stop because it knows what your mind hasn't accepted yet. There's a better way, a way that feels like flow instead of force, like ease instead of effort, like joy instead of struggle. But to access this new way, you have to be willing to let the old way die, and that death happens in the rest. This is the sacred pause before the quantum leap. This is the in-breath before the cosmic exhale that changes everything. This is the moment when the caterpillar dissolves completely before rebuilding as the butterfly. You can't skip this phase. You can't productivity hack your way through metamorphosis. You can't earn your wings. They're encoded in your DNA, waiting for the right conditions to emerge. And those conditions? They require stillness. They require trust. They require a nervous system that's calm enough to handle the massive transformation that's about to occur. Everything you're experiencing is preparing you for flight. Your guides, your ancestors, your entire soul family, they're all holding space for this moment. They're surrounding you with more love and support than your human mind can comprehend. They're orchestrating synchronicities, opening doors, preparing the path for your wishes to manifest in ways that will astound you. But they need you to do your part, not by doing more, but by doing less, by trusting more, by allowing more, by resting in the knowledge that you're held, you're worthy, you're already enough. This isn't passive, it's the most active thing you can do on a soul level. The wish that's coming to you carries within it the seeds of 1,000 other wishes. Your success will inspire others to pursue their dreams. Your abundance will show others what's possible. Your joy will give others permission to choose happiness over hustle. Your rest will model for an entire generation that worth isn't earned. It's inherent. This is why the universe is being so insistent about this lesson. It's not just about you. It's about everyone whose life you'll touch when you're operating from overflow instead of depletion. It's about the ripple effect of one person choosing to break the pattern. So rest, dear one. Rest like the fate of the world depends on it. Because in a way it does. Rest like you're setting the template for a new way of being. Because you are. Rest like your wishes are already on their way to you. Because they are. Rest like you trust the universe completely. Because deep down, beneath all the programming and fear, you do. Rest like you know your worth is unchangeable. Because it is. Rest like someone who's already living their dreams. Because in the quantum field, you already are. The only thing left is to align your physical reality with what your soul already knows. As August gives way to September, as summer surrenders to fall, you too are in a season of transition. The old you, the one who had to earn everything, who couldn't rest, who measured worth in productivity, that version is completing their purpose. They got you this far, and they deserve your gratitude, but they can't take you where you're going. The new you, the one who creates from joy, who rests without guilt, who receives with grace, they're waiting to be born. And that birth happens not through effort, but through allowing. Not through doing, but through being. Not through force, but through surrender. If you need help transitioning from the old you, who earned everything, to the new you who creates from joy and receives with grace, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to birth this new version, through allowing rather than effort. It generates personalized sequences that help you surrender into the new you, who rests without guilt, and creates from joy. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to transition from earning everything to receiving with grace. Your season of transition is here, and the new you is waiting to be born. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this transformation window closes. Link in the description. Your wish is closer than you think. Can you feel it? That flutter in your chest, that knowing in your bones, that whisper in the quiet moments that says it's coming. It's almost here. Just a little more trust. Just a little more rest. Just a little more allowed. That's not your imagination. That's your future self, reaching back through time, letting you know that everything works out better than you dared to dream, but only if you're brave enough to rest. Only if you're willing to receive. Only if you can trust that you're worthy of everything you've been calling in. Because you are. You always have been. You're just finally ready to know it. The universe doesn't make mistakes. You're reading this message at exactly the right moment. The wishes you've been nurturing, the dreams you've been afraid to speak aloud, the vision of yourself thriving and abundant and joyful. It's not a fantasy. It's a prophecy. It's a future memory calling you forward. But you can't sprint toward it. You have to rest your way there. You have to trust your way there. You have to allow your way there. This is the paradox of manifestation in the new paradigm. The less you chase, the faster it comes. The more you rest, the more productive you become. The more you trust, the more trustworthy the universe proves itself to be. So here, in this sacred moment, as cosmic forces align to support your transformation, I invite you to make a choice. Choose rest over hustle. Choose trust over control. Choose being over doing. Choose to believe that you're worthy of everything you desire. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Choose to know that your wishes are already granted, already on their way, already closer than your next breath. Choose to rest in this knowing, to marinate in this truth, to let it reshape you from the inside out. Because when you do, when you finally truly rest, that's when the magic happens. I am Seraphine. We love you and we are watching over you. Rest now, dear one. Your wishes are coming.